You know that moment when life starts moving so fast you can barely recognize yourself in it? Like you're just on autopilot, moving through the motions and activities in life instead of actually being in your own life? I've been there. And over time I realized that feeling like myself wasn't some big revelation or destination that I reached from which point on I would just feel like myself every day. And I know we hear this everywhere nowadays, but it's really in the little things. Those peaceful, simple moments when I just reconnect with who I am. Like taking my time with the first sip of coffee in the morning. And I know it's a privilege to have time to do that, but there used to be a time when I would wake up so late that I would just have to rush through everything in the morning, drinking coffee, getting ready, maybe eating breakfast, but really not even that. And I remember I felt so disconnected from myself and really so miserable that from one point on, I just decided I'm gonna stop doing that because it just ruins my whole day. And I'm gonna start prioritizing my mornings and waking up earlier just for that. So that's what I did, and it really helped. Or writing down one thought in my journal, and not because I have to or because I want to follow some current journaling trend, but because it helps me hear my own thoughts first thing in the morning, or actually see them. And it's really my first proactive activity in the day before I go on and become reactive to the whole world around me, to media and people and news. And sometimes it's just one sentence, other times it's 3 pages worth of chaotic things that I just have to get out of my head, I guess. And other times I have to force one sentence out of me. So it's really never the same, but it's always quite helpful. And speaking of being reactive, giving myself permission to not be available all the time. And I know this is a sensitive subject because I used to feel so guilty whenever I would not reply because I was working or doing something else. And it felt so relieving when I understood that it's okay to not feel like I have to respond right away or leave everything I'm doing to just reply to that message, because I really value everything I do. I respect my work enough to give it my full attention, and I'm also more efficient that way. And obviously I still get distracted, but I'm trying not to. And I also respect the person texting me enough to finish what I'm doing and then reply to them when I can actually properly be there emotionally and mentally. Another thing that makes me feel at home within myself is setting boundaries and saying no to something unaligned. And not in a dramatic way, but in things like leaving a conversation that doesn't feel right, or closing an app that's making me compare myself and my life to others, is choosing peace over people pleasing, or just saying no to something that drains me. And every time I do that, I obviously feel at first a little bit bad and weird and awkward, but then I definitely feel more aligned with myself. And it's really an act of self-care or self-love, whatever you want to call it, and it feels like I'm honoring myself much more now than I did before. And it is still a struggle. I still catch myself people-pleasing pretty often, but I know I'm on the right track. So I would really encourage you to try that, to try practicing that more if you feel like you want to feel more in touch with yourself and you want to feel more like yourself. Another thing that makes me feel more like myself is dressing for the way I feel like that day. And obviously that's something we all do, but there's just something about being able to match my mood with my clothing. And I think outfits are definitely an expression form, or like clothing in general. But I don't know, there's just something about feeling cute and then dressing that way, or feeling elegant and putting on an elegant dress or outfit and being able to own it that day wherever I go. I just feel like there's something special, and it really makes me feel like my true self when I'm able to match my outfit, match my vibe with an outfit. Also, revisiting childhood comforts helps a lot to bring me back to myself, like eating a snack that I used to love as a child, or singing a song I used to sing, and also having a safe space playlist that brings you back to yourself. I used to have one in the past, and it was mostly instrumentals, but it was insane how well it worked, because it would just put me in such a motivated state to work towards my best self and my goals. And I don't know how, but that music just reminded me of the person I wanted to be. And that was what I had in mind when I put those songs in the playlist. And yeah, I would really recommend to give it a try if you haven't tried it before, or if you just need some motivation or a reminder sometimes of the person you want to become. Music can really put you in a very nice mood. Another thing is letting myself do something badly, like dancing in a living room without worrying about how I look or the moves, doing my own version of yoga poses, or drawing some storyboards for my next videos, even though I suck at drawing. Just doing something for the fun of it, I think, brings some lightness into our days that we rarely experience as adults nowadays when engaging in different activities, because I mean, we all want to be good at what we're doing, and we tend to avoid things we're not really good at. But I think it's actually a very good thing to engage in activities that we usually avoid, because one, it gets us out of the comfort zone, which is great, and two, it takes the pressure off of doing it perfectly, because I mean, we already know we suck at it, so we might as well just do it for the fun of it, or just relaxing during the process and being relaxed afterwards. And lastly, it's something that I know some of you are gonna find a little bit cheesy, but it really works wonders, and it's asking yourself, what does my soul need today? Because we're so much on autopilot and we think we know what we want, but really deep down, our inner soul sometimes needs something else. And it's a great thing to listen to that. So what does your soul need today? Sometimes, most times, it's really just rest or a hug or some time with your loved ones. And really most times it's just very simple things, but that will make a huge difference in the way you feel if you choose to honor them. So that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope to see you here next week. Please subscribe if you want to see more of this. Next week, I'm actually starting a new series called the Self-Growth Series, and it's gonna be a pretty complex series with lessons I learned, but also a little bit more of the vlogging style. So stay tuned for that, and if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye!